Vietnam has become one of Asia's fastest-growing investment destinations, attracting thousands of foreign companies in manufacturing, technology, and services. Yet as the workforce expands, so do legal challenges. Every year, the Ministry of Home Affairs reports a sharp increase in violations, from unregistered internal labor rules to unlawful termination. Many employers assume that global HR systems automatically comply with Vietnam's labor laws, but local regulations are complex and unforgiving. A small administrative mistake can become a costly legal problem. Understanding the top 10 legal risks for employers is the first step toward building a compliant and sustainable business in Vietnam. 1. Unregistered internal labor rules, ILRs. The first and most common legal risk is failing to register internal labor rules. Under Vietnamese law, any company with 10 or more employees must have ILRs issued in writing and registered with the Department of Home Affairs. Without registered ILRs, the employer cannot legally impose disciplinary measures or terminate employees for misconduct. Many companies simply translate their global code of conduct, believing it is enough. But without official registration, that document has no legal effect. LTS law frequently assists clients in drafting bilingual ILRs that reflect both global standards and Vietnamese law, ensuring full enforceability. 2. Improper labor contracts. Vietnam's labor law requires written, signed, and bilingual labor contracts for every employee. However, many employers use outdated templates or inconsistent clauses between the English and Vietnamese versions. A contract without mandatory elements such as job description, salary, working hours, or termination conditions can be ruled invalid. Others mistakenly use service contracts to avoid social insurance, which is illegal when the relationship is clearly employment-based. Every labor contract must comply with the labor code and relevant regulations. Employers should review all templates annually to avoid disputes or fines. 3. Unpaid or underpaid insurance contributions. Social, health, and unemployment insurance contributions are mandatory for all employees. Yet underpayment or delayed payment remains a top violation among FDI companies. Employers sometimes exclude certain allowances or bonuses from insurance calculations, assuming they are not required. Vietnamese authorities routinely audit these records, and unpaid contributions can result in penalties, interest, and back payments. Proper payroll compliance is essential to avoid this risk. 4. Misclassifying employees as contractors. To minimize costs, some employers classify long-term staff as independent contractors. But if the person works under management, with fixed hours and company equipment, the law considers them an employee. When a dispute arises, the company could face retroactive taxes, insurance liabilities, and even criminal investigation for evading employment obligations. LTS law advises companies to clearly distinguish between employment and service relationships, supported by proper documentation and contractual language. 5. Illegal probation and termination practices. Many companies extend probation beyond the legal limit, or terminate employees without proper notice or cause. In Vietnam, probation cannot exceed 60 days for most roles and must be defined in a written probation contract. Termination requires statutory reasons and specific notice periods, 3, 30, or 45 days depending on contract type. Any termination outside these rules is considered unlawful, exposing the employer to reinstatement orders or double compensation. Following legal procedure is not optional, it is the only protection. 6. Failure to register foreign workers and work permits. Hiring expatriates without valid work permits is one of the most serious offenses under Vietnamese labor law. Work permits must match the actual job title and location. Companies must also handle timely renewal and deregistration when employment ends. Violations can lead to deportation of the employee and fines for the company. LTS law provides full support for work permit applications, exemptions, and compliance management, ensuring foreign staff remain fully legal. 7. Lack of labor reporting and record keeping. Vietnamese employers must file semi-annual labor reports, maintain employee management records, and store payroll and insurance data for inspection. Many FDI companies overlook these obligations, leaving HR departments exposed during audits. Proper documentation is the backbone of compliance. Without it, even lawful actions appear unlawful. 8. Non-compliance with overtime and working hours. Vietnam strictly regulates working hours and overtime pay. Employees may not exceed 40 overtime hours per month, and all overtime must have consent and correct premium rates. Employers that demand excessive overtime or miscalculate rates face fines and potential suspension. LTS law often helps clients build internal policies aligned with both production needs and legal caps. 9. Poorly handled disciplinary procedures. Improperly handled misconduct cases are a major cause of labor disputes. The law requires a transparent disciplinary process, written notice, evidence, employee representation, and a valid ILR reference. Any deviation makes the dismissal invalid. Employers must document every step and ensure decisions are made within statutory time limits. Precision in process equals protection from claims. 10. Ignoring data protection and personal information rules. Regulations on personal data protection now extends to HR data. Employers must secure employee information, limit access, and obtain consent for data processing. Breaches can result in administrative fines and reputational damage. As data audits become part of labor inspections, companies should treat HR data as legally sensitive assets. 11. How LTS law helps employers stay safe. At LTS Law, our mission is to turn legal complexity into operational clarity. We conduct labor compliance audits, draft and register internal labor rules, review contracts, and train HR teams to manage risks proactively. Each audit includes a detailed report with legal citations, risk ratings, and corrective steps. We understand that FDI companies need solutions that are both compliant and practical. Our clients trust us because we combine deep legal expertise with real business understanding. Vietnam's legal environment rewards those who prepare and penalizes those who assume. The top 10 risks discussed are avoidable with the right guidance and timely action. For foreign employers, staying compliant is not just about avoiding fines. It is about building a trusted, respected, and resilient business in Vietnam. LTS Law's employment lawyers are ready to help you identify risks, strengthen compliance, and align your HR system with Vietnam's labor laws. Contact LTS Law today to schedule your labor compliance audit and ensure your company operates 100% legally, confidently, and successfully in Vietnam.